Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to go over some Steam client beta updates today. A bunch of new updates have been added if you are in the beta program. Also, if you are playing Gears of War 5 and you quit on games, you have the potential to get banned for almost 2 years. We'll take a look at that, and I honestly kind of like this because there are way too many people quitting mid-game. I had to deal with it in League of Legends all the time, and that was annoying as hell. So I do think we need harsher penalties for that. Maybe this is a little bit over the top, but nonetheless, we'll talk all about that. But first up, let's talk the Steam client beta update. Of course, there are a bunch of library updates where recent games and recent friend activities are now shelves. Shelves can now be reorganized by drag and drop. Click and hold the center of a shelf header to start reorganizing. So I really like that. Being able to assort the shelves how you want is definitely a feature that should be there for the beta library. A disable community content option has been added. Low bandwidth mode will still enable this option, but it can also be set separately. That's pretty cool. So you can disable all of the community content if you don't want to see that. I actually kind of like that. Again, just giving us these options to tailor the experience how we want it, even though this is something that probably a lot of people don't want to take advantage of. It really covers all bases because low bandwidth users, that's something that does utilize a little bit more bandwidth, so hey, they're looking out for you. I like that update. Games that no longer run on Mac OS X 10.15 Catalina will show an incompatibility warning. Added new UI for uninstalling a game or application. I gotta check that out. I'm not sure what the new UI for that is all about. Fix roaming of favorites and hidden collections between machines. Note changes outside of beta will not affect the beta library. Redesigned library with better support for smaller windows and restored slimmer home and collection buttons. Fix forward and back buttons on downloads page, sometimes navigating twice instead of once. Reduce client hitching for users with large libraries when adding or removing games. Fix cases where the install button failed to offer installation on remote computers. Also, a couple of updates for Windows only. Enable drag and drop of games to browsers for navigating to the games page on the Steam store. Yo, this is actually an awesome update. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to take advantage of it, but this is actually something that ease of use for somebody that's making YouTube videos and looking up all of these different Steam games and utilizing the Steam application. This makes it very easy to do that, and I actually just did it as I'm recording this video, and yeah, that's going to make my life a little bit easier, so that's cool. As far as remote play goes, remote play anywhere now runs over the Steam Datagram Relay Network, which ensures that the best route over the Valve backbone is always used. Also, connections are rerouted dynamically to avoid maintenance disrupting the connection. So that's as far as Valve's backend goes. That's not going to improve remote play as a whole because it is still mostly reliant on your connection, so keep that in mind. But I imagine if you're streaming games to your friends with the new remote play anywhere feature, that is actually a nice incentive. And lastly, Steam Input added support for Power of Fusion, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Switch Pro fight pads. The beta has been updated to correct an issue also with some free uninstalled applications appearing in users library. Usually when you uninstall a free application, it does disappear from your library. Cool of them to do that as well. Steam continuing to make some nice updates. Wanted to go over all of that for the client beta update, so of course you do have to be in the beta program for this, so bear that in mind as well. Alright, moving on from that, here is a really interesting story detailed by Segment Next. Gears 5 quitters are getting banned for almost 2 years. Okay, so this sounds like a crazy high ban. However, I do think there needs to be larger ramifications for those that are quitting mid-game, especially in the case of Gears 5. You're getting bots, and in games like League of Legends, when you lose a player, it is very, very difficult to win a 4v5 game when the other 5 players are competent players, unless you're against incompetent players. Usually, if you're down a player, it is going to be rather difficult. In the case of Gears, in some game modes, it is a little bit different where you're graded based on how many lives you have. However, in the case of a game like League of Legends, losing a player is absolutely huge. Gears 5 already feels much cleaner after aggressive penalties were deployed a couple of days back to root out rampant quitters. Naturally, as it so always happens, players who were rightly banned during this brief period have started feigning innocence. The coalition, though, is not one to mess around. Yesterday, user No Life Degenerate shared a screenshot on Reddit to confirm that he was banned in Gears 5 for nearly 2 years. He made it sound like the ban happened after quitting 1 or 2 matches at most, while also taking jabs at the coalition for failing to implement a proper and just penalty system. In response, Director of Communications Dan Sissons took him to school. The action in question turned out to be a rampant quitter, having quit 18 out of 21 matches played in escalation mode in the last day alone. Suffice to say, the ban will remain and he will no longer be ruining Gears 5 for anyone. I believe they actually did update it. that they were gonna alleviate the ban for anyone in this period, but after this moment, if you get banned again, it is over, it is donezo. You're gonna get banned, and I can't believe I just used donezo in a sense, but continuing on in similar fashion, a few more players tried acting the part in hopes of getting their ban lifted. Citizens made sure to take them to cleaners as well. Another account that was banned for nearly 2 years turned out to be a chronic case. He noted, "We investigated this person's account and he is a chronic quitter. In fact, he quit 18 of 21 matches today alone. His quitting ruins the game for the other 9 people he was playing with." The coalition followed up with an update saying quitters have been receiving month to year-long suspensions for prior behavior. This is how long you can be suspended for rampant quitter. Take heed. Over the next few hours, impacted users will be unsuspended, but 1 quit away from suspension. You have been warned. So wow, they are taking people to the cleaners. Some people are going to be a little bit upset about this, but I think ultimately this is something that for the longevity and really the quality of multiplayer games, this is something interesting to implement. However, you also have to take into the fact, what about things like internet disconnections? What about things like legitimately the need to quit? Now, I don't think they're going to start banning people if you just quit a game or two. It's really if you're rampant. If you're quitting 18 out of 21 games that you play in a day, yeah, in all honesty, you deserve to be banned because now you're ruining the game for other people. I don't care if you bought the game. I don't care if you spent your money joining 21 games and disconnecting 18 of them. That makes it a lesser experience for everyone else involved. How many people are you affecting? If it's unique players in all of those games, that's 9 times 18. I can't do the math in my head right now. I think that's 162. I literally just did that math in my head. I might be wrong about that. But whatever, even if it isn't, that's a lot of freaking people that you're not necessarily completely ruining their experience, but you are hampering their experience, so you need to have some sort of ramification. And if it's the meme thing like they did in League, I believe in League it was like a 20-minute suspension or whatever the case may be. So is that really going to stop anyone from not quitting? So there you have it with that. It's like Coalition is really dropping down the ban hammer rather than the suspension hammer as far as that's concerned. I don't know if it's completely the right thing to do. However, I do think there needs to be harsher penalties that for people that are quitting 18 out of 21 games. If you quit a game here or there, even if you quit a game or 2 a day, that's one thing. But if you're quitting 18 of 21 games a day, that is a little bit ridiculous. And yes, you do need to be penalized. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, let me know what you guys think. We got some cool Steam updates for the client beta, and also Gears 5, if you're a quitter in that game, you might want to clean up your act ASAP, because it looks like Coalition is taking rampant quitters to task. Again, if you're quitting 1 or 2 games a day, I don't think it's gonna be a major issue. However, if you're quitting a ton of games, that's when it becomes an issue, and that's when you are hampering the user experience of other players that did buy the game. So that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.